We begin this story at a quiet but emotionally loaded moment in Port Charles, when familiar faces are brought back together not by choice, but by circumstance. We are watching Nathan and Lulu grow closer again, and on the surface, it looks almost simple. Nathan is a police officer. Lulu is a desperate mother searching for Charlotte. Helping her is, officially, part of his duty. That is what everyone can see, what Nathan himself might say out loud if asked. But when we look closer, we feel that the truth is more complicated. There is an emotional pull between them that goes beyond professional obligation. The way Nathan listens, the way he stays longer than necessary, the way Lulu starts to rely on him not just for updates, but for emotional steadiness. We sense that this is not accidental. Possibly, this closeness is the beginning of something neither of them planned. As we move deeper into the story, we see Lulu at a fragile crossroads. Since waking up, she has been trying to reconnect with the life she once knew. Dante is still at the center of her emotional world, or at least he represents safety, history, and a love that once felt unbreakable. We understand why Lulu wants Dante back. To her, loving Dante again would mean that the lost years, the coma, the pain, all had meaning. But love does not wait patiently in Port Charles. It changes shape, sometimes quietly, sometimes cruelly. Dante, for all his good intentions, is not standing still where Lulu left him. We know, and Lulu likely senses it even if she refuses to admit it, that Dante is still emotionally tethered to Sam. That bond has not dissolved just because Lulu returned. It lingers in Dante's hesitation, in the way he avoids making promises, in the way he looks away when Lulu talks about the future. This unresolved love becomes the first real barrier between Lulu and the happiness she wants so badly. We can imagine her try to push past it, telling herself that love can be rebuilt. That time will fix what distance broke. But hypothetically, love cannot grow in the shadow of someone else's memory. Adding to this emotional complexity is the revelation of Gio, the son Dante shares with Brooklyn. Even though Brooklyn is married to Chase and likely will not reunite romantically with Dante, the existence of Gio changes everything. A child is not a footnote in a love story. A child is a permanent connection, a living reminder of choices made long ago. For Lulu, this could feel like another door quietly closing. Even if Dante wanted to try again, his life is now filled with responsibilities and emotional ties that did not include her. We sense that Dante himself knows this. He may care deeply for Lulu, but care is not always enough to rebuild a life. As Lulu slowly comes to terms with these realities, Nathan's presence becomes more important. He is steady, attentive, and emotionally available in a way Dante cannot be right now. Nathan does not carry the same tangled romantic history with Lulu. Their connection is fresh, built on shared concern and quiet conversations rather than old wounds. It is likely that Nathan sees Lulu not as someone from his past, but as someone he could build something new with. That distinction matters. For Lulu, being seen without baggage might feel like relief. We start to imagine moments where Nathan becomes more than a comforting figure. Maybe he is the one who sits with Lulu late at night when the search for Charlotte hits another dead end. Maybe he is the one who reassures her when hope feels thin. Emotional intimacy often grows in these small, guarda moments. We can easily predict that Lulu, feeling abandoned by the man she thought she would always love, might lean into the man who is actually there. And Nathan, who has his own complicated past, may welcome that closeness more than he wants to admit. But this story does not move in a straight line. Maxie's shadow hangs over every step Nathan takes. Even though she is in a deep coma, her presence is undeniable. She is not gone. She is paused, and that makes all the difference. We know Maxie and Nathan shared a powerful love before, one that ended not through choice, but through tragedy. The idea that Maxie could wake up at any moment turns Nathan's growing feelings for Lulu into something dangerous. Loving someone new while still being married, even emotionally, to someone in a coma creates a moral and emotional conflict that cannot be easily resolved. We can predict that when Maxie wakes up, she will want answers. She will want her husband back. Learning that Nathan survived and returned would likely reignite feelings she never truly let go of. From Maxie's perspective, time stopped when Nathan died. She grieved. She changed. But that love never had closure. It is very likely she will want to reclaim the life she lost. And that includes Nathan. This puts Nathan in an impossible position. He is no longer the same man Maxie remembers. He has lived, changed, and possibly fallen in love again. Nathan's inner conflict deepens when he reflects on Maxie's past relationships. He may remind himself that Maxie moved on when he was believed dead. She loved Spinelli, and more painfully, she loved Peter and had a child with him. Even though Peter is presumed dead, the emotional impact remains. Nathan may struggle to accept that Maxie built a life that included another man and another family. Jealousy does not disappear just because time has passed. It festers quietly, especially when paired with unresolved grief. This resentment could become a justification in Nathan's mind. He might tell himself that Maxie moved on, so he has the right to do the same. But emotions are rarely that logical. Knowing something intellectually does not stop it from hurting. Nathan may feel torn between guilt and desire, between loyalty to his past and hope for a future with Lulu. We can see how this internal struggle might push him toward a risky decision. Instead of choosing, he may try to hold on to both. Hypothetically, Nathan could convince himself that he does not have to give up either woman. He might believe that Maxie deserves time to heal and adjust, while Lulu deserves honesty and support in the present. But this balancing act is unstable. Secrets, half-truths, and emotional compromises tend to explode in Port Charles. Loving two people at once is not sustainable, especially when both relationships are built on deep emotional stakes. As we near the climax of this story, the tension becomes almost unbearable. Lulu may start to realize that Nathan's heart is divided. Maxie may sense that Nathan is not fully hers anymore. Nathan himself may feel trapped by his own indecision. We can predict confrontations, emotional breakdowns, and painful revelations. This is not a story where everyone walks away unhurt. Choices will have consequences, and silence will become its own kind of betrayal. In the end, we see this as a story about timing, loss, and the cost of unresolved love. Lulu is searching for her daughter, but she is also searching for a future that feels stable and real. Nathan is trying to reconcile who he was with who he has become. Maxie is fighting to reclaim a life she thought was gone forever. Each of them wants happiness, but their desires overlap in ways that make that happiness hard to achieve. We close this narrative knowing that nothing is truly settled. Possibly, Nathan will be forced to choose. Possibly, he will lose both women by trying to keep them. Or possibly, one of them will walk away first, refusing to be part of a love triangle built on uncertainty. Whatever happens, we know this story will leave lasting marks on everyone involved. In Port Charles, love rarely ends cleanly, and the past never stays buried for long.